Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Level Up Podcast with myself, Greg Harrelson. This is where I focus on taking you from agent to entrepreneur. As you know, I have a passion for developing agents. And on today's episode, I'm going to share another quick strategy on how you can increase your production. I'm going to be real, so you be ready. Let's level up.
Welcome back to the Level Up Podcast. I'm Brendan Payne, and you've probably been told that the basis or the foundation of sales is built on asking really, really good questions. In fact, we've all heard the line, selling is not telling, it's asking questions. But how do you deliver really good questions in a way that lowers the sales resistance from your leads instead of putting this wall between? Because let's face it, asking a lot of questions has some pitfalls. On today's episode, I want to go through and give you the exact framework that I use in order to make sure that we've got time to get in rapport, get far enough in the conversation to get in rapport, and give the lead an opportunity to open up a little bit. Give me an opportunity to hear the little bits and pieces that may give me some insight into their motivation and their time frame. When I think back to when I started in the business and didn't know a lot of the conversations, I was just working on my scripts and dialogues and didn't have a lot of experience in real conversations. I can remember being on calls where 3 or 4 questions in, after they gave their answer, I just blanked. I was out of ammo. I didn't know what else to say. And a lot of times I was almost thinking that they were going to say, yes, I'm ready to do this, go buy, go sell. And if they didn't say that within the period of time where I had something to ask them, I felt like I'd just run out. There's some really awkward conversations where it's just like, well, we'll hang up now, I guess. And then as I got more experience, I started learning more things to say and started practicing more. And then I felt like I knew more about the conversation. Well, what do you think happened? Then I started talking for long periods of time in my prospecting calls, in my conversations with my leads. And so I felt like I had all this information and I wanted to be able to spit it out to them. So I would just go on in these run-on sentences, trying to give all the information that I had learned in hoping that something along the way they'd go, oh, that sounds really interesting. Now I'm ready to do this. But it never happened. Then as I realized that those calls were going too long and they weren't getting anywhere, somebody said I was told, start asking more questions. The key is going to be the questions that you ask and then listening to those responses. So, of course, I go and my new conversations, I start asking a lot of questions, but they felt like it was an interrogation. And one question after another became really cumbersome. So I would feel like I'm asking too many questions, felt kind of uncomfortable. I knew that they felt it. And so at that point, it just didn't flow. And you can imagine yourself being in an interrogation in a real estate conversation. You got to sit at a table and you've got a bright light on you and one window and your glass of water and somebody's just one question after another. That's not going to be very conducive to a productive conversation with our real estate leads and our prospects. So what's the answer? Well, I was under the impression that when I was asking a lot of questions, that buyers and sellers didn't want to answer those things. And the reality is they felt like they were in an interrogation. We want to learn how to have conversations, not interrogations. And the difference between an interrogation and a conversation is not the questions that you ask. It's in the transitions that happens between the questions. Okay. So imagine in a real estate call, hey, good morning, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I was calling. I saw that you were looking at a couple of properties on my website and wanted to find out, when would you like to go look at a couple in person? Yeah, we were just kind of looking around. Well, what were you looking for? I just said we were looking around. Well, when are you going to buy? We're not going to buy. We were just looking around. Well, are you looking at homes or condos? I just said we were looking around. And then all of a sudden, where's the call go? That's not going to go very well. It's an interrogation. The space between the questions, it's empty. And it's just one after another. And very few people are going to feel comfortable in that conversation. When I started to understand the importance of the transitions and having the questions be formulated on what the previous answer was, then it opened up a space for building rapport. I was able to make it okay for them to talk with me. There wasn't a threat anymore. Everybody's got natural sales resistance. We have it when we walk into the store. Can I help you find something? No, I'm just looking. That's sales resistance. We know that our prospects have the same resistance inherently built in, yet we go in and don't take the time to try to get past that. So when we go through and use this specific framework for how to transition between your questions, you open up that space to build rapport, to let them know that whatever their plans are, it's perfectly fine, and to let them know that you have got value because you're listening. When you do that and you can get 3-4 minutes into the call, you'll be amazed at how often they run out of their resistance. They run out of the resistance and the smoke screens that they often give us, and now they actually start opening up. So let's look at this framework that I've been describing. It's a 5-part framework. Obviously, it starts, we ask them a question, and then they're going to give us a response. Part 1 of the framework is listen to their response. Really important that you're listening to what they actually say. When are you planning on moving? Oh my gosh, we've been here for 20 years. We never plan on moving. Okay, we're going to use that when we ask the next question. You got to listen because that's how we're going to formulate the next question we ask. Step 2 is repeat their answer. This allows them to know that you're actually listening to them. There's nothing worse, and we've all been in conversations where we ask a question or somebody asks us a question, we answer, and we know they didn't even hear us. They just moved on to the next thing. It's like, why did you even ask that if you didn't even hear me? So we want to repeat their answer. Next step is after we've repeated their answer, we want to affirm it, make it okay. You call and you ask when somebody would like to see a property and they say, never, no problem. People use my site all the time to search for properties and they're just kind of just dreaming of a new home, no problem. Repeating and affirming gives them permission to go, okay, it's okay. They're not going to just all of a sudden say, I'm dumping you. I don't want to talk with you anymore because you don't want to go look at property. You make it okay for them. Okay. And then the last part is actually, it's 2 parts of asking the next question. We want to formulate our next question, and we're formulating it based off of what their last answer was. So when somebody says, oh my gosh, we're not moving, we have lived here for 20 years, repeat, affirm, formulate the next question based off of what their last answer was. Holy cow, 20 years you've lived there. That's incredible. Good for you. You must really love the neighborhood. I'm curious, had you ever thought of maybe doing something down the road if for some reason you decided not to live there anymore? Repeat, affirm, ask the next question based off of what their previous answer was. That framework is going to allow you to open up that space where they feel comfortable talking with you, get you into rapport with them because you're listening, and you'll be shocked at how much further you get in the calls. When you are asking a question just randomly because it's what you want to know, but it doesn't flow with what they gave you as the previous answer, that's when you feel like you're bouncing all around. And that feels uncomfortable to the lead because they feel like you are just talking about your agenda. You're not listening to theirs. So on your next calls, practice this. Now, you're probably in the habit of using something different. Maybe you've come across this and used something similar to this and didn't even know you were doing it. But I encourage you on your next calls, in your role plays, practice that framework, ask the question, listen to their response, repeat, affirm, and then formulate the next question based off of what they gave you for that last answer and see how much further you get in the call. Thanks so much for continuing to allow us to be a great resource for you and let us know what additional topics that we can help you out with this year. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.